Hey, it's Luke Farley here from iGen Entrepreneur. Hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm gonna do a newsletter in the form of a video, basically covering all the stuff that I've put out this week in the form of content. The idea behind it is that you get all of the useful stuff in one place. If you are looking to get started with online arbitrage, check out the link in the description. If you prefer to read through the newsletter, you can sign up to the newsletter. There'll be a link in the description to that as well. Without further ado though, I'm going to jump into the video. I'm going to get on the computer and then walk through the things that have happened. Cheers. Hey, and we're back. And so for those of you with eagle eyes, you might have noticed that I've just gotten changed. I believe that this little webcam should be at the bottom of the screen. Got distracted, but I'm back now, and well, for you, shouldn't be any time difference, so I'm going to get straight into it. First point on the list for the week was a discussion around whether online arbitrage is become too saturated. This was based on a question I received in the Facebook group that I run, and I've discussed it in the previous YouTube video, so if you just click into the channel and click on that, then you'll be able to check out that video. No point me going over it in more detail here. So I've created a 10 top tips for online arbitrage. This ideally benefits all sellers. There's something there for people at different experience levels. If you'd like that, then I'll leave a link to that in the description. Thirdly, I wrote a guest post on what I've taken away from the global pandemic affecting us. Obviously, that's the coronavirus. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail here. I will leave a link to that. In that sort of blog post, I discuss some takeaways and what I've done, what I've implemented in my business going forward. Fourth, I'm running a free training, and at the time of the recording, that is this Wednesday. So if you see this before, after that date, then the link might take you to a different form of training. But at the time of this recording, yeah, it's this Wednesday, the 24th of June at 7 PM UK time. So check that out. Link will be in the description. Fifth, yeah, on gating. So kind of links to the first one. Lots of new sellers, lots of people wanting to get gated. For those who don't know, there are branding category restrictions with Amazon. So there's two ways to overcome that. You can either get manually ungated, and that's where you request approval. So if you enter an ASIN for a product, click request approval, Amazon will show you what is needed. After time of selling, you can automatically get ungated for some products when you request approval. After a while, it will say automatically approved. The reason why this is important, and I recommend it as a new seller, is because it opens up lots of items. For example, if you get ungated in toys and games, this then opens up lots of other items. At least that's what I've experienced with new sellers that I've spoken to. Highly recommend getting that done soon, in time for Q4, and just to open up other sourcing options for you so that you're not checking lots of products. So again, I'll link that in the description. That's a really useful guide to help you there so that you're not wasting your time on ungating, doing stuff incorrectly. The next tip is to do with a bit of like a mindset type thing. So I really recommend having a network of people that you are speaking to regularly. I'm fortunate enough to speak to a lot of sellers just with what I do, but I do have a regular group of people that I speak to a lot. And one person that I speak to every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, for example. Use that for an accountability, for a chat, also to benefit each other. Amazon can be very lonely. If you're working by yourself, I mean, I work from home, and none of my other family sort of do it. I don't have colleagues working with me, or my virtual assistants are based in the Philippines. So yeah, chat to people, and it'll be really beneficial, I promise you that. And if you ever need someone to talk to, my door's always open. If you're struggling to get feedback removed, this is a big thing. Lately I've noticed that Amazon are really tightening up on feedback removal. So this is for seller feedback. When a customer leaves you feedback unfairly, if it's a fair feedback, well, you're going to struggle. You can try the automatic process, but when those usual steps fail, so what I mean by that is when you check your feedback and you request removal and you create a case and then they say, yep, you're done. Now you can't keep repeating that. You get sort of one case, and if they come back and say it doesn't break their guidelines, they just don't remove it. So what you can do then is use the managing director at amazon.co.uk email address. And yeah, I would really only use this if you know that the buyer's left you wrong feedback. So for example, if they say, I don't know, they think that the product should have been cheaper, for example, something like that, which seems to happen often, and it doesn't get removed, then you can use this email address for that. Last point on this week's list is to do with split shipments. So I personally use a prep center these days, so it's not too much of an issue for me. But these are some of the reasons that I'm seeing for split shipments. So they're on the screen. A lot of them are pretty self-explanatory. The new one for me was dangerous goods in the hazmat program. Previously this wasn't a thing up until I think it was a few months ago. I'm enrolled, but again, the prep center deals with that. One thing to notice with that dangerous goods in the hazmat program, you need to find shipping that will allow you to send those dangerous goods. I believe you can't just send them through UPS partnered program unless you need a license for it. So that's something to look into if you are looking to ship those dangerous goods. Maybe you're already doing it and you don't even know that you're not meant to be sending them on the UPS. I'm not 100% sure there because I don't do those shipments myself anymore. But I did want to give you a heads up on that because I think it affects a lot of people. And tied to that, yeah, if you aren't sort of making these shipments already, what I recommend based on personal experience is create the shipping plan first, get to the end, once it to the stage where it tells you where you can click on work on shipment and it shows if any shipments have been split. Recently spoke to someone who's gotten started their first shipment. They'd already packed everything into a couple of boxes, got to the end, and they said 3 items need to be sent to a different fulfillment center, a different shipment. So highly recommend that. Apart from that, that's pretty much everything. Hope that's helped. This is something I'm testing, so some weeks it might be more useful than others. The idea behind it is, it's hard to keep track of all the content. So if you like it, give me a thumbs up, let me know in the comments. If you don't like it, well, let me know in the comments and let me know why. Interesting to see what you think. But hopefully I'll see you same time again next week. Cheers.